Hi, I'm Mark Meyerdirk, the CEO of the Meyerdirk Consulting Group, and I'm here with my good friend Paul Martinelli, a speaker, teacher, coach, and one of the most successful entrepreneurs I know on the planet right now.
Thank you.
Paul is a great friend of mine, and I've asked him to, I'm doing this webinar, free webinar called The Self-Actualized Entrepreneur, and there's nobody that really quantifies that more than this man. And so, Paul, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. The first one I'd like to ask you is, when you hear that word, self-actualized entrepreneur, what does that mean to you?
For me, it means that when I'm facing life's conditions and circumstances, when life is going on, I'm not evaluating decisions that require me to make value-based decisions. In other words, I'm standing firm. I have a very clear understanding of who I am, whose I am, what my values are, what I stand for, what my beliefs are. So when an opportunity comes to me, I don't have to take a whole lot of time evaluating it. When a challenge comes to me, I don't have to spend a whole lot of time, considering whether I should or I shouldn't do that, because I've already created a mental model of perfection of who I am, and I understand that. And it's no longer something that I aspire to live into. I think it's self-actualization. You live from that.
Right, okay. Well, that's very interesting. There are a lot of challenges that entrepreneurs have day to day.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, and you certainly would know this. One of the biggest ones that I'd like you to speak to for a minute is people get burned out. They lose balance with their family and their work and money and everything else. What advice would you have to somebody who's facing that burnout, that loss of balance in their lives as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, in my mentoring, in my coaching, in my life, in my experience, I think that when we find ourselves burned out, when we are having the horizontal challenges, when we're living life on our horizontal plane, right? We're going from day to day to day, the calendar of days. It's always a vertical problem. It's always a vertical problem of our awareness of our oneness with God. Somehow we have become disconnected spiritually. Now, I'm not talking about religion,
right?
But I'm talking about there is a sense that we have lost a connection of why we're here. I've never met somebody who's an entrepreneur, who's self-actualized, who has a very clear understanding of what their purpose is, be burned out. And I've never met any of those people work 8 hours a day either.
Yeah.
They're typically the people that are working 10 or 12 hours a day and would never define that as work. And I think what happens is when we find ourselves burned out, what most entrepreneurs make in terms of a mistake is they think that something new needs to be added to me. That if I just get a new assistant, or if I can just get another business loan, or if we can find more products, or we begin to identify potential in outside things. And it's a great indication. When you begin to recognize potential, like you see potential in clients, or potential in getting a new customer, or potential in a new hire, you're thinking that something new needs to be added to you when all the potential is really in you.
Yeah.
And that's a great indication that out of balance, that stuck feeling, it's not something cyclical because of the market. It's something cyclical because you are out of harmony. It's a structural change that needs to happen, not a cyclical change. So I think when you find yourself in that position, and that's the work that you do for your consulting, because you approach consulting in a completely different way. Mark introduced me as his friend, and I am your friend, but I'm also a client. I've benefited from your counsel and your firm's counsel in my life and in my business. It's about being able to identify beyond just what do I need to do. It's more, who do I need to be? Who do I need to show up as? And I think that's for most entrepreneurs, we get stuck in that challenge.
Well, that's great, Paul. I mean, you really, I think, hit that one on the head. I mean, it is an issue of being cut off from a bigger channel.
Yeah.
And when you can understand that and you can do some things to help support getting reconnected, it really usually does help you get unstuck and brings you some balance back again.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the indication again of being out of balance. I mean, you're not out. There's a reason why you're sensing that.
Yeah.
That's a reflection of something.
That's right. It's a symptom of what you really need to do.
Absolutely.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you again for appearing here, and I'd like to invite all of you to join me on this free webinar. If you click at the bottom of this video, you'll be registered for the program, and I want to thank you very much. Come hear some more information about these issues that face all entrepreneurs and get some answers. Thank you very much for watching.